The somatic and autonomic nervous systems make up two of the three divisions of the peripheral nervous system. In this learning objective, we will compare the structural and functional differences between the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. So as a visual reminder, the nervous system is made up of the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system, which you see up the top there, is made up of the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system is all of the nervous tissue that sits outside of the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system is then divided into three divisions or three separate systems. These are the somatic nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, and the enteric nervous system. So the somatic nervous system includes both sensory and motor neurons. Sensory neurons convey input from receptors for our somatic senses, such as tactile, thermal, pain, and proprioceptive sensations, as well as from the receptors of our special senses, so things like sight, hearing, taste, smell, and equilibrium. All of these sensations are usually consciously perceived. The motor neurons in this division innervate our skeletal muscle. So these are the muscles that we can voluntarily control. Now, although we can voluntarily control these muscles can also produce movement via reflex. The autonomic nervous system is also made up of both sensory and motor neurons. The sensory input comes mostly from interoceptors, which were those receptors located in our blood vessels, organs, and the nervous system, and which monitor the internal environment. So that could be chemoreceptors that monitor blood oxygen and carbon dioxide levels, or it could be mechanoreceptors that monitor the stretch in the walls of organs or other vessels. Our autonomic motor neurons innervate effectors that work without conscious thought. So these include cardiac muscle, smooth muscle, and glands. And the autonomic nervous system regulates these effectors by either increasing or decreasing sympathetic or parasympathetic stimulation to these effectors, which controls things like the rate and the force of our heartbeat, the dilation or constriction of our pupils, and the secretion of a hormone from a gland. Now, aside from those functional differences, there are also structural differences that differentiate the somatic and the autonomic nervous systems. In the somatic nervous system, which we see up the top there, a single motor neuron extends from the brainstem or the spinal cord to innervate our skeletal muscle. So it's one long neuron coming out of our brainstem or spinal cord that reaches all the way out to our effector. In the autonomic nervous system, so these are our three examples down here, the autonomic pathway consists of two motor neurons. Now, the first motor neuron is called a preganglionic neuron. It has its cell body in the central nervous system and then extends out into the peripheral nervous system to what we call an autonomic ganglion. The second neuron is called a postganglionic neuron because it comes after or post the ganglion. It has its cell body in the ganglion and then it extends out to our autonomic effectors. Now, in some autonomic motor pathways, so this is one example here, there is actually only one motor neuron, and it extends from the central nervous system out to this specialized cell here, which we call chromaffin cells. Now, these cells sit in the adrenal medulla, which are the endocrine glands that sit on top of each kidney. The chromaffin cells act a bit like a ganglion. So these chromaffin cells secrete the neurotransmitters, epinephrine and norepinephrine, and that's how they affect the effectors. So it doesn't have a motor neuron directly innervating the effectors. We release epinephrine and norepinephrine from our chromaffin cells, and in turn they will control our effectors. Now, on the topic of neurotransmitters, all of our somatic motor neurons release the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Our chromaffin cells release epinephrine and norepinephrine. And our other autonomic motor neurons release either acetylcholine or norepinephrine. Now, the other difference between the somatic and the autonomic nervous system is that the motor division of the somatic nervous system only has one division, whereas the autonomic division has two. Now, I won't go into detail about this now, as this will form the basis of the rest of this module, but the two divisions of the autonomic nervous system are our parasympathetic division and our sympathetic division.